Family. It's Tuesday, September 4th, 2018. Wanted to start off this morning by saying thank you, Kelly, for being my wife, for being the mother of my children, for managing our home and taking care of our home and providing meals for the children and I, for doing our laundry and just taking care of us and loving us and sacrificing your time and energy, uh, taking care of us and loving us the way God has created you to do. And we're thankful for that. And I wanted to thank you for that this morning. And children, uh, I just want to let you know that you truly are blessings to me and your mother from the Lord. Um, I thank you for being my children. I'm blessed and pleased to have you as children, to have you as my daughter, Madeline, and Henry and Samuel, to have you two as sons. I'm very proud of you. You two boys and Madeline, all three of you are growing and maturing. Um, I can see that you do have a desire to be obedient and obey God and love Him um, and I just want to encourage you this morning to just continue to make your time, your devotion time, and your reading and your meditation of His Word. Just please continue to make that a part of your day each day. It will uh, it will be a blessing to you to continue to do that. Our Father loves you. He loves His children, and He loves it when they hide His word in His heart, in their hearts. And so please continue to do that. And I'm thankful for you guys, my family, and just wanted you to know that this morning. And I know I said we were going to change up the format a little bit of how we do morning devotion and family worship at night, but and we will. We're working on that. But this morning, I just wanted to give you some encouragement from Psalm 2 this morning. Life, uh, we know life throws curveballs at us sometimes. Um, and we know, even saying that's kind of silly. We know that God ordains all things that comes our way. Um, as I've used as an example many times, we can look at the Thomas family and see the trials and the tribulations that they've gone through, not only in the last 6 months, but just over the course of their lives. Rusty's lost a wife previously. They've had lots of legal issues due to their ministry work. Um, his son Jeremiah was taken, and but they persevere and they continue to trust in Christ. Um, the reality is, in this life, we will have trials, we will have tribulations. We do have enemies that rise up against us, um, and at the end of the day, they're God's enemies. But even more close to home than maybe legal issues or disease is just the fact that we still struggle with sin. We have sin in our hearts that is our biggest enemy. We can blame others for the things that happens to us, and we can point fingers at the devil and say, well, he threw a flaming dart at me at that time, and or he tempted me with this or that. But at the end of the day, our biggest enemy is the sin that dwells within us. It's the desires of our own heart that draw us away and lead us to sin. And so I just want you to remember what our memory verse says this week also, is that there's going to be a day when Jesus Christ crushes all of our enemies, and he's currently making them a footstool, but he's not done yet. And but as verse 9 says, you shall break them with a rod of iron, you shall shatter them like earthenware. And this is what's going to happen to all of his enemies, and by extension, our enemies. So I just want you to look forward to that day, family, and know that there is a day coming when we won't be plagued by sinful desires. We won't be plagued by a life marked with disobedience and strife and heartache. But there is coming a day when Christ will have made all his enemies a footstool, and we will have true peace. But just recognize too that in this life we can have peace through Jesus Christ. This is not a fake peace. It's not an imaginary make it up in your mind and do kind of like a little trick in your mind to make you think you have peace. You can have real peace in this life regardless of what might come your way. Maybe some health condition is going to come your way and trouble you. You can still have peace in that situation, knowing that God has ordained all things and that all things are working together for the good of those who love God, those that are called according to his purpose. And so let's remember that today as we might face some trials or tribulations or struggles, as we face health issues, as we face difficult work situations. Let's remember that all things are working together for our good, and let's remember that God ordains all things, and that there is coming a day when all of our enemies are going to be crushed and destroyed, and that's good for us. So I love you guys. I pray that you would have a blessed day. Children, love one another. Please, as we heard in our sermon at church on Sunday, don't think more highly of yourselves than you ought to. Please consider others more highly than you. Lay down your life for your brother or your sister today. Lay down your life and put your desires to the side for a moment and consider someone else's, and be kind to one another. There's enough cruelty in the world. There's enough cruelty outside the four walls of your home. When you're in your home, love one another and be sharing and giving and kind to one another and generous. You know, as I was telling you boys yesterday, if you want to outdo, I know you guys like to outdo one another, and there's nothing wrong with a little healthy competition. But if you're really looking to outdo one another and showing honor and being loving and kind toward one another. And I love you. Please have a blessed day. God bless. Bye-bye.